Okay, so in today's session, I'm going to talk to you about how to get more followers and how to get more engagement using Instagram Reels. So, at the moment, Instagram Reels are best if they are shorter form, okay? So, usually under 15 seconds, anywhere between 7 and 15 seconds is best. Now, there are three metrics that Instagram algorithm looks for to decide whether it is going to pump your post out to more people. So number one is the average watch time percentage. So if someone watches the whole reel until it plays again, that is 100% watch time. And when you get people doing that, the algorithm thinks, yeah, okay, people are interested in this, they're watching all the way to the end, that's a good sign, okay? Then the next thing it looks for is how many people share it. And that is quite hard to do. Usually that is if it's like a meme that's funny or something relatable or something that is super valuable that they think their friend might benefit from, and they may hit the share and share it and send it either as a direct message or put it to their stories. The next thing is how many people go and visit your profile and also follow you. So they are the three metrics that will determine whether the Instagram algorithm is going to push you out on the explore page or whether they're just going to let your post sit there. And that is really the difference of like sort of just leaving your post on your feed or going viral and having thousands or millions of people see your post. So I am going to give you 19 tips that you should incorporate into all of your posts that will all help all of this. Okay, so let's dive in. Number one. Choose an engaging background. So if you just have a white background behind you, people kind of get a little bit bored. Whereas if you've got a background that has lots of things, if you've got plants in the background, you could be outside and people are just walking past. It actually gives us something to look at and to concentrate on and to watch whilst we're listening to what you're saying. So the chances of us staying on your video for longer are higher. So it could just be that you're in the park and people are doing their own thing behind you, but it's kind of like that distraction that people are like, oh, what's that person doing over there? Or they might be like, oh, what's that book? Or what's that candle? And it's just something that keeps our mind looking across the background and will keep people on your post for longer. You could have like a cat or a dog walking past at home, or you could have child in the background if you're happy to have them on social media, as long as they aren't like sort of shouting so that people can't hear you, but just something, some sort of movement or some sort of detail in the background. So the algorithm particularly likes it if you have plants or if you've got blue sky. And I know for us at the moment in the UK, it is hard to get that blue sky. So number two, lighting. Lighting is very important. So the algorithm looks for lighting. So if you don't have good lighting, can't properly see your facial expressions, the algorithm is going to stop that post from going out further to the explore page. So the best lighting is actually in the car because you have lots of windows. I do a lot of my stories and my quick lives that aren't prepared from my car. And also that kind of feels like you're it's not so curated, I should say, that it's more off the hoof and more you and more organic. But if you don't have wonderful lighting, grab yourself a ring light. You can get them on Amazon. They're not expensive. You can get them for £20. Like I've got a light that I just attach to my laptop or to my phone. And you can have different settings, whether it's cool light or warm light. So go and invest in one of those if you don't have one. Number three, trending audios. So I always look for trending audios before I do a reel, because what you don't want to do is create a reel and then attach a trending audio that doesn't fit very well with it. So trending audios, if you have a reel that is attached to a trending audio, people can go and search that audio, and then everyone's reels who have done a reel to that audio will show up. So it's a way of just getting out to an even bigger audience. So if you go, what you can do is scroll the Reels feed on Instagram, and when you see by the music at the bottom left, when you see a little arrow going up, that means it's a trending audio. Or when you are creating your reels and you go to add music, you can actually search trending audio. And as long as it's got an arrow going up, it means it is trending. It means it's popular right now. Try to be careful about the audio you choose. It will tell you how many reels have currently been created using that trending audio. So you don't want one that's got like 28 million, because you'll never be found. So think about things that are on their way up, like the tens of thousands, because they might blow up. And if you're already on there, you are getting that visibility for longer. Next one is 3-second hook. So most people, when they are scrolling reels, they will watch the first 3 seconds. You've got to grab their attention in the first 3 seconds, or they will keep scrolling. So things like 3 best ways for, don't do this if, dull skin, use this, what others, anti-aging, 3 heroes. You know, keep it simple. And you need to be able to say it in 3 seconds, okay? So if you're not sure about hooks, go on to ChatGPT on the web, on your laptop, and type in, give me 3 hooks for anti-aging skincare, and see what it comes up with, and start looking at hooks that you can use, or accounts that you follow. Go and have a look at the types of hooks that they use. Or if you are struggling, just drop me a message if you are part of my beauty bunch, and I will help you out. Okay, so next tip. Tip number 5, facial expressions. I know this sounds really basic, but if you're the type of person that doesn't do a one-take video and you do lots of takes, then your facial expression will start to dampen down the more takes you do. So for your hook, you need the best facial expressions you can. If you're sharing a tip that you haven't shared before, or something that is an aha moment, you're going to want that excitement. So if you know that you're the type of person that does loads of takes, film your hook first and keep that, and then do all of your takes for the content, so that you've got that initial 3 seconds of being bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and then it can carry on from there. So tip number 6, this is called the Gen Z Shake Press. Now, if you haven't heard about it, lots of Gen Z are doing it on TikTok, and what they're doing is they are pressing record and then putting their phone down, so that it looks like it is just completely natural. They've just decided to film this reel, and they've done it in one take. Now, it doesn't have to be putting the phone down, it can just be the movement, and it just means that it looks more organic. So what you can always do is film yourself. So, hey guys, today I'm talking about 3 hooks for anti-aging. That doesn't make sense, does it? So I press record. Hey guys, so today I'm talking about my 3 tips for anti-aging, and then save it. And then you can attach it to your stand and then start doing your takes. But what you're going to do is add that beginning bit of video that you've saved in your reel as your beginning. So it looks like you have just literally put the phone on the stand and are talking then and there and just bashing it all out in one go. Okay, so the next tip, do something whilst you're filming to keep people watching. So quite often, imagine, for example, I've got a hair serum and I'm talking. I might not be talking about hair. I might be talking about skin, but I'm just applying my hair serum whilst I'm talking like this, and just doing it whilst I'm giving all of the tips, because this isn't easy to do because I've got my pen on, so it's actually drawing on my head. So by giving these tips, as you're making this movement, again, it's just sort of keeping people engaged on what you are currently doing as well as what you're saying, and it will keep people watching for longer. You can be chopping up onions when you're doing your dinner whilst you're doing your content. You can be making a cup of tea, anything like that. Even hand movements, gestures. You know, if you're stood up, you can be slightly moving around. You can have movement in the background. So just keep things moving, because if you are still and just giving your tips like this, people are going to be very bored and they're going to switch off, and you're not going to get the engagement. So keep it interactive, keep it moving. Okay, the next tip, don't know what number we're on. Before you film, have an intention to end. So you need your start, your beginning, and your end. So when someone does get to the end of your reel, what do you want them to do? Do they just switch on, go and look at another reel from someone else? So what you want to do is have what we call a call to action. So if I am doing a reel about anti-aging, then my call to action could be asking a question and asking them to answer it in the comments. And this is going to help your engagement as well. Or if you're talking about a specific skin concern, you can ask, who's got this skin concern? Does anyone relate? Or if you've got a free download to give someone, comment the word download to get your free download today. Or if you found this useful, hit the like button so that I know to talk about it more. Or do you know someone who might need this tip? Go and share it to them, directly send it to them. Or if you haven't seen me before and you found me on the explore page, hit the follow button. I give loads of tips like this. So you've got to actually physically tell people what you want them to do, and don't give them multiples, just choose one. Okay. The next tip is the trending effect. So when you are making reels, there is a section at the bottom that says use an effect. And if you use a trending effect, you can get more visibility. One really easy one to do is called the green screen effect. So you can go onto your effects, search, type in green screen, and what it will do is put a green background behind you. And that means that you can attach to that green background a photo or a video. So for example, if you were talking about the Temple Spa Truffle Noir Moisturizer being on offer, you might want to get Temple Spa's promotional video of the Truffle Noir on the screen behind you whilst you're talking about it. And again, it's just that movement, it's just that engagement. Or maybe you are talking about an article that you've seen maybe on the news and it's related to skincare, and you put it in the background so that people can be scanning it and reading it whilst you're talking. It is just giving extra background and more interaction for your viewer. And because they are really popular, it may show up on the explore page. So the next tip, most people watch reels and stories on mute. Okay, a lot of people are at work and are just scrolling through. So you need to make sure your hook, if you're speaking it, is also in text in the first 3 seconds. Because if someone is scrolling and they've got you on mute, if you're just talking, you're just going to look like this. And they're not going to be interested. So make sure your hook is in big letters for the first 3 seconds, so that people who are scanning will first of all be able to read it and it will stand out to them, and then it can fall away. And as well as that, if you are talking, you need to make sure you've got captions on everything that you are saying. Now, you can have auto-generated captions. So how I don't tend to use the ones in Instagram because I don't like how they look, and they don't really stand out. And sometimes you can't actually read them because of the color of your background. So what I tend to do is film my whole reel. Before adding the music, I will save that reel. So I'll download it to my phone's camera gallery, and then I will upload it into an app, and I will then make auto captions. So this is where the app will just listen to what you're saying and generate those captions for you. Then you can download it again and upload it into your reels and then add your music. So types of apps that I use are Captions, CapCut, or Splice. Okay, and they will all give you auto-generated captions. So the next tip is hashtags. Use it. Hashtag rules change all the time, and they're changing again. So 7 to 15 hashtags you can use them at the end of your description of your reel, and keep them really targeted to what you're talking about, because Instagram will look at those hashtags and will start to categorize and know what your video is about. So if you're doing an anti-aging video and you're just tagging in skincare, that's not niche enough. So you want to be anti-aging skincare, younger looking skin, skincare tips for anti-aging, anti-aging 101, anti-aging skincare community, anti-aging moisturizer. So you want to be putting those really niche hashtags in, but when you write the hashtag, it will tell you how many posts are associated with that hashtag currently. So what you want to do is have a mixture of low, medium, and high traffic that is currently in those hashtags. So for example, if I chose skincare, there'll probably be like 35 million posts already there. And what that means is there are lots more people posting every day using that hashtag. So the moment I post that video, it is going to go into that hashtag folder, and anyone who searches that hashtag will see my video. But if 12,000 people that day are also posting using that hashtag, the moment you post it, the moment someone else posts it after you, you're going down and down and down and down on that feed. So most likely you'll only be seen for about 3 seconds by the population before you start to fall down off the first page. So using a hashtag that's got like 10,000 posts to it is considered a low engagement. So it means that you'll stay on that first page for longer, but you don't want it to be too low, because what it means is that less people are searching that hashtag. So you want to be able to go for some tens of thousands, some hundreds of thousands, and then probably like 2, 3 to 10 million. Okay. And so have a combination of those over your 7 to 15 hashtags. Next is topics. So when you are just after you've created your reel and you've written your description, before you post, there will be some options that you can choose from, and it will say add topics, and you can choose 1, 2, or 3 topics that you want to add. And this just helps Instagram work out what your post is about. So again, make sure it is targeted. So they are pre-made topics. You can't write the topic, you have to choose from what's there. So if there isn't a topic that relates to what you're talking about, don't choose something, because it will confuse the algorithm. So if we're talking about skincare and skincare products, there is a face care topic and there is a skincare topic. So you want to tick those. But for example, I wouldn't want to then tick hair care, because it's not about hair, and people will see it and not be interested in it and pass by, and that will ruin your engagement for your algorithm. Next tip is all about the cover of your reel. So when your reel is posted, when it goes to your grid, you see the 1x1 square. So you need to make sure that that square has your hook in it and that you can see the text on the hook. Because when people are scrolling through your feed, they need to see what each post is about to decide whether they're going to watch it. If it is just a nice cover of yourself smiling, but no explanations to what it is, people aren't going to click on it, because they won't know what the value is, and they're not going to want to go through everyone to decide if they want to watch that video or not. So make sure that you have your hook or what it's about put on that cover photo, and make sure it is within the 1x1 frame. Now, when you are posting a reel, it will say to you, what cover photo do you want? So you can either use a cover from your reel, or you can upload your own photos. So you can create a cover on Canva, download it to your phone, and then upload it to Instagram. And then it will give you your reel view, and then it will give you your grid view. So just make sure you click on the grid view to make sure that you can see everything that you need to see in that little square. If you don't, and the text is sort of falling off that little 1x1 grid, the algorithm is going to downgrade you and you are not going to be seen as well. Next, turn on high quality when you are posting your reel. So you would film your reel like normal, and when you are in that section where you can add your topics, go all the way down to advanced settings and then scroll all the way down from there and just make sure the toggle is on high quality. And this just means that the clarity of the video is more clear. Some people's accounts are automatically set to off, and it will mean that you will not get as much reach as if it was set to on. Posting times. So everyone is different, and play around with this. Try to post, play around with posting first thing in the morning, at noon, and in the evening, and see over time how many people are around, because the first half an hour of when you post your post is really important for you to get engagement, likes, and comments, because within that first half an hour, that is going to determine whether Instagram are going to shove you over and boost your product, your post out. So if your audience is around, say maybe your audience is single mums or stay-at-home mums, then most likely they're going to be looking at Instagram around the afternoon time. Maybe mornings they're getting the children up and getting them ready for school, and in the evenings they're doing bedtime. So maybe for them it's afternoon or lunch times. But if you've got an audience who work 9 to 5, and then they may only watch first thing in the morning when they're getting ready, or just in the evening. So start to look at your insights as to what times your audience are on, and start to post around the 20-minute mark before that. Okay. Now the next tip is start a group of people, get a group of people together, and it can be in your team or it can be friends or anyone who's like-minded who wants to grow their social media, and have a comment for comment group where you all say, right, I'm going to post at this time. Guys, can you be ready to comment on my post? Because if you get a lot of comments within that first half an hour and a lot of likes, then the algorithm is going to boost you no end. And this is where you can go from 500, well, maybe let's go where you can go from 50 views to 5,000 views. Okay, so have a group of people where you all do it for each other, and you give them notice and say, right, I'm going to do a post on Wednesday at 12. Can you guys just all comment on it once I've posted? And if you're all doing it for each other, then you'll all do it. Let them know half an hour before so that they're ready. And so once you've posted that post, put a comment in yourself as well, okay? Because people who are watching your reel, sometimes they just want to see, oh, I wonder what the comments are. So your comment could be an extra tip, an extra bit of education, an extra bit of value, or you could ask a question, because do you know what? Asking questions in the comments of your viewers is going to create conversations, and that's exactly what you want. You want to ask some questions that people are going to respond to, but that you can then start a conversation. And the gold is when you have conversations happening on your post, whether it's with you and them or them and another follower. Generate this community where people are starting to talk on Instagram a little bit like they do on Facebook, because the algorithm is going to see, whoa, she's got 25 comments in the first half an hour. Let's boost this out. So if you've got your team of people who are all going to comment something and then you comment back to them, if you've got 5 people doing that, that's 10 comments straight away. And people who are watching it are like, oh, it's got 10 comments. What are the comments? So make sure the comments are engaging and not just love your post, Great one, girl. Love you. You're rocking it. Actually have some value in there. And make sure that you are generating things that will start conversations. So that's it from me, guys. If you want to check out more of what I've got to offer, then I have a coaching program, justjenniferbeauty.com/success. I've got a podcast on Apple and on Spotify, and I've got my Instagram as well at JustJenniferBeauty. So I hope to see you on one of those platforms. Have a great day.